Hello everyone! Before we introduce the design task to you, let's have a quick look at some of the artworks from Sculpture in the City that we've explored with you. Here's Dutch Light. We really like its architectural presence, its colourful nature, and the way we can move around it. And here is Series Industrial Windows 1. We really like the way that it acts as a filter and changes the colours of the space when we look through it. And here is Crocodilius philodendrus. We like the way it adds drama to the space behind the cheese grater. And finally, here is Abstract Mass. We like the way it calmly sits in the space between St Helen's Tower and the cheese grater. From Abstract Mass's location, we can see into St Helen's Square, the place we'd like you to design a sculpture for. Moving a little closer, we get a better view of the square, and if you look carefully, you can see the planting, which helps to create spaces in the square for people to sit and enjoy it. St Helen's Square is also a major route for people to easily walk between the important office buildings. We will now move into the middle of the square and take a closer look around it. The wide and gentle steps are a key feature of the square. These planters are another key feature of the square and add colour. And the square flows into the public space under the cheese grater. And now, because you're going to design a sculpture for the square or under the cheese grater, we are going to show you some sculpture ideas, dropped into different locations around the place. How about a really large sculpture here? Perhaps it's too big and bulky, as it blocks the view of the public space under the cheese grater. But imagine the reflections of the square you'd see in the sculpture's mirrored surface. Or perhaps a group of really small sculptures, but you'd have to place them very carefully so people don't trip over them. Or how about a tall sculpture poking up above the planting, tempting people to walk over to the space behind the plants to have a closer look at it? Here's a large abstract sculpture again. Do you think it works better here? Perhaps the tall sculpture works well under the cheese grater. Maybe its triangular shapes are inspired by the building. Or maybe because this space is so high, you could hang a sculpture from between the cheese grater's columns. These are just a few ideas to get you thinking about designing a sculpture for St Helen's Square, or under the cheese grater. Here are a few tips before you get started. When designing your sculpture, it's important to consider context, that's the space and its surroundings, scale, how big or small the sculpture is, form, what shape it is, and materials, what the sculpture is made of. Good luck and have fun!